The context was in a free, fair elections, and the rakyat chose, or decide to choose the end. Then I would concede. In a faulty, fraudulent elections, where we have compelling evidence to support that argument, I now will continue the fight to defend the rights of all Malaysians. Saya tahu saya akan dipermainkan oleh kucu-kucu UMNO bahawa saya mengatakan saya akan undur. Sebaik rakyat memutuskan dalam pilihan raya yang bersih dan adil. Masalahnya sekarang, pilihan raya penuh dengan kecurangan, dengan penipuan, dengan penyertaan orang asing. Saudara, pilihan ini pilihan raya rakyat Malaysia, bukan warga asing. Dan kedua, kecurangan-kecurangan itu nyata. Ditapak kita sekarang teliti dengan Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya dan dengan kerjasama pasukan polis, pemantau kita. Malam mengundi itu dikeluarkan, dan ini keterangan-keterangan yang kita berikan. Oleh demikian saya putuskan saya akan tetap bersama rakyat untuk memastikan pilihan keputusan yang adil dan sah, dan menolak kecurangan dan menolak pimpinan yang tidak sah dalam Barisan Nasional sekarang. Just to use that evidence, for example, in Fizi, supplying me with detailed information, say, for example, Pandan, which I said was one of the targeted areas to defeat our candidate. Suspected phantom voters caught. Police report, law. One family woke up to realize that 4 different people unknown to them has been registered at the address. The other is an Indian voter who realized 2 Chinese voters registered at his address. Second, 4 suspected phantom voters did turn up to vote. When our agent objected, they left the voting center at Sekolah Rendah Agama Kafah Taman Daga. At Ceras Indah, SPR officer instructed counting agents to sign black form 14 even before counting began. And this is in Pandan, man. In Pandan, can you imagine this trend with complicity of the SPR officers? When discovered, of course, they protested, and finally, a person from the secretariat went and tore the unsigned papers. It just is to supply you some examples of this.
That's not true. Why you still remain? Will you still remain as opposition leader even though DAP won more seats than PKR?
The matter actually technically does not arise because now we are questioning the result of the elections. Okay, number one. Number two, unlike the UMNO thinking or MCA mindset, the spirit of cooperation within the Pakatan is strong. I made even in 2008 when we had this frog leaping, jumping out of Pakatan, Keadilan, even suggested Kit Siang take over. The consensus was that for me to take over. Even this, after these elections, I've already indicated to Kit Siang that I'm not keen to continue as opposition leader. They made it very clear that I should. I've not made my decision yet because I think my focus now is to ensure that we reject this fraudulent process of elections.
What do you think PKR laws did not do as well as it should have been illegal?
You have not been listening to what we have been saying about fraud.
Yeah, so can you tell us about how things stand at the moment? You've made reports to the DC, Rafizi is collecting all the stuff. Are you looking at legal action? Can you just briefly tell us where you're at exactly in protesting
we understand the system, how the system works. What Tanaya talks about is a reform of the entire system, including the judiciary, election process, election courts. So I think we're not talking purely petition in courts. We are talking about demanding a full explanation from EC, giving proof. How do you get the court to intervene? We say 240,000 early voters. We don't know whom they vote. There was no monitoring. They were told, we were told, like in Kuantan, that we are able to monitor the boxes in the custody of the police. The police officer said, it's under our purview and you cannot enter. Alright? So for 4 days the boxes are there. You may trust these people like saints. You have crooks and corrupt people managing, and you want us to accept them readily. We cannot compromise with the need for fair election results.
Sir, sorry, just want to check with you. Yesterday, KP voiced his support for you. Whether you're opposition leader or PM, you're back. They said you support him all the way. So, any comments on that matter?
Yeah, thank Ustaz Hadi and Kit Siang for their sentiments and support. I mean, that's why I need to reiterate, it's not an issue within Pakatan, it's an issue within UMNO and MCA.
How do you compel
Sorry.
Can you guarantee that there won't be any protests? There won't be any guarantee that?
You can talk to the people, ask them to the guarantee. My call is for a rally in Kelana Jaya tomorrow night.
That's a rally?
Yes.
In the stadium?
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you talk about wanting to give you an explanation and all that, but how do you compel them to do it? There's already stress that it's a fair election and also the government. So where do you stand now? There's a deadlock now, and how do you see this moving forward really? I mean, that you don't recognize the
Mr. Usui, can I add to the
so
question
how do
also?
you move forward?
Could I add also?
Let finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want, I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainty now about how you're going to move forward from here. You know, I mean, the only revenue that we can see is the legal avenue, but you say you don't trust the system, so how can you just shed some?
Yeah, adding to that, I mean, if you do not use the legal avenue, seems what she said, but the point is there any way legally for you to do this? Thank you.
I'm not saying that we are not going through the court process. It's not only an issue of trusting the court, but we know the law. The law crafted to defend even the excesses of the EC, because the court is bound by the law. All right? We are looking at it, like the legal team look at it. We have a team of 15, 16 lawyers just looking at it, what needs to be done. But it's beyond the courts. I mean, you steal the elections and you say go to the court. Yeah. I mean, the stealing cannot happen without the involvement of government leaders. And of course, the complicity in the crime by the EC. Of course, your question is relevant. How do you expect the criminals to come up with a proper explanation? Okay. You know, you talk about, you show them this bungalow. You say, well, never mind, they have a IC. Now, that means there is this complicity with another department. Okay. And then we say, well, why do you give 10 these addresses without people there? Well, you know, that's how they register. I mean, such flimsy sort of report. I mean, the event could happen to me in Matampau. You can imagine the rest, and Pandak. But it's of course minimum compared to the targeted areas. How do you expect us to accept the result in Tapa? When the candidate was asked to go out, when his representative cannot be there during the counting. Yeah. This is ridiculous. And we have video, we have photographs of the incident. You look at what I showed the other night. So I think to ask Malaysians, except for the, core UMNO supporters and some of their lackeys, People generally know that. You know the public sentiment expressed throughout the country. I mean, people are just, I mean, it's their decision. How can you just ignore this huge public sentiment? I mean, what they could not, despite all this conflict, they could not even erase the fact that we garner majority of the public support.
Dr. Sri, DP has said that they are very happy with the results, and FAST has also sworn in the Kelantan MP. If you are going in this alone, I mean in this fight against this proposed regularity?
No, no. I've discussed this extensively with Dato' Sahadi, with Kit Siam. We are now working, the three parties working to identify and use evidence. We are forming a state government together, and I support it. Aziza represents the party now for the swearing in of Lim Guan Eng. It's not a question of not continuing. The government has to continue. You can't have a state in limbo. But we are questioning based on specific areas in question. And these areas are large enough, as you have seen from the popular vote, to question legitimacy of the federal government. Where UMNO or BN can adduce evidence to question legitimacy of the state if they think that Lim Guan Eng has failed to garner enough support in Penang, then say so.
How many seats are in question?
Well, we're working on it now. Right now, 28, 29, there are 10 more coming. Tapa just came in with video and photographs.
Dr. Sri, how are discussions? Can I just check?
Sorry.
How are discussions going about the Samoa?
It's okay. I mean, we were actually quite resolved that. But I think normally, as a courtesy, we do inform Tuanku Sultan first. But there is a consensus among the parties, so no problem.
Can you reveal?
I think just as a courtesy, we just have to mention to Tuanku Sultan.
Not recently, all these issues of fraud and irregularities, there appears to be a general swing of support to the BN in rural areas among rural Malays, and we've lost Kedah quite badly. So, can you comment on this issue?
The specific some areas I concede, you see. I mean, I have no problem about conceding seats, which we are quite clear. I'm not saying every constituency, every vote is fraud. I mean, I went to vote. I don't think that vote is fraudulent. I mean, when I was there standing and where I saw everything in order, I thanked the election officials. But here is a question of 500,000 votes stuck in earlier. I mean, can you accept this like that? All army personnel and police and early voters, election workers, media people, all of you support Barisan Nasional. If you tell me that, then okay, probably I was wrong. But people in the media says no. They say at least, they can say at least 60% with us. You know, it's interesting, you see the pattern in the voting pattern from Melbourne, London, and a few places, right? When they early voted by the students and staff. So they went and asked everyone how they voted. No, 70, 90% are with Pakatan Rakyat. But this trend is never translated. When it comes here, you know, in the process, probably the, what you call, osmosis or whatever, happened to these ballot papers, that they change the crossover to the other party. And that's what happened. And suddenly when it comes to the result, 17%, 12%, you know. That is how Sewang Salvi lost. We won, I mean, comfortably, except when 12,000 postal early voters. You see, that's why from the word go is this deceitful, dirty attempt to mar elections. First army and police, then early voters, so-called workers for the elections. on the day of the election. Then again, the third issue, the media. I mean, unless you tell me that 80% of the reporters are all VPN, well, they seem to be very supportive of me anyway. Okay, thank you. Right? Yeah, sorry, the last question.
Would you care to comment about what happened in the Damansara? Would you concede that it was a poor decision by Parliament to place the past candidate there because it had split the votes?
No, I think, yeah, there was some miscommunication earlier, but past Tuan Guru Haji Awang and past leadership agreed that that was a keadilan seat, although a PSM seat under keadilan logo. So it's Sungai Sipur. So there is no confusion as far as we're concerned, but unfortunately, because the logo remains, and probably down the lines, some people may not necessarily follow the instructions. So we lost Kota Damansara, we lost Semenye, and we lost Sungai Aceh.
No, Sri, would you just clarify those, Sri? This is the report that I just got. Could you clarify that? Are you considering defeat of the Sri? This basically to close that just now.
No. No. I mean, people are, pressing vote on Monday, you saw that. I'm sure I considered it.
Dr. Sri,
I told you I'm going to fight.
you know, I mean, given the dynamics now and the different parties holding the different number of seats now, is this going to affect cooperation in Pakatan?
No, that's what I'm saying. This is the perception by those who are opposed to us. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not giving a false impression. I'm a daily basis in touch with the party leaders. And even in Selangor, with past NDAP and keadilan. Why did Aziza decide to fly into Penang? Because I happen to be MP from Penang. I thought, it's only decent courtesy to show our support. I didn't attend in Kelantan. I don't think I will attend in Selangor for the matters. To show that we are together. Ustaz Hadi, for example, on his own volition, called and said, look, let us involve Selangor State and you deal with it. There's no problem for a keadilan candidate for Selangor. I mean, I thought that was a very positive spirit, which well, we didn't make it public as such, but there was it. I was talking to him over the election, they said, look, this is our decision or consensus, the keadilan candidate, because PAS have a right to play. In our, for example, Pakatan Rakyat coalition, PAS has every right to claim the seat of ambition. But in the spirit of Pakatan Rakyat, immediately they offered, they said, look, we can proceed, and then the details, let them discuss. Okay, fair. And so is this position of opposition leader. In fact, I have said to this young Ustaz, probably better for me to remain focused on Pakatan Rakyat and you deal with these issues in Parliament, and particularly because I'm now questioning the issue of legitimacy. They insisted, but I said, look, and then let us now focus this issue first and leave the issue of opposition leader later date. Baik, terima kasih banyak. See you tomorrow night in black.
Dr. Sri, the police said that they have not been notified and the stadium management has not given permission about tomorrow's rally. Is that necessary?
I want to advise the police and Dato' Sri Najib, enough of this oppression. Please, for once, see the change in the mood of the people. Don't think that we should continue with this semi-authoritarian manner in treating people like fools and idiots. Don't think the media should be treated like the manner Utusan is treating our people. Okay? They think the Malays are so gullible and fools to consider this all politics about the Chinese, and therefore you play that game. I'm here and I remain committed. I will defend the right of every single Malaysian, be it Malay, Chinese, Indian, Dayak or Kadazan.